Scorpios, welcome to the mouth of the underworld. The calendar says it's October, but for you the cosmic clock has wound down to a profound stillness. Before the great phoenix fire ignites later this month, you must first navigate the whispering gallery of shadows. This isn't a call to action, it is a summons to retreat. Look up. The sun, the bringer of light and ego, is still lingering in your 12th house, the most private, hidden, and subconscious sector of your chart. It is joined now by Mercury, the messenger, which slipped into this same house on October 3rd. For the first 10 days of this month, the two most visible forces in our sky are casting their light not outward but inward. Have you felt it? A subtle but insistent urge to disappear? A sudden lack of tolerance for surface-level noise? This is your spirit pulling a cosmic cloak of invisibility around you. Your energy is not meant for the public square right now. If you try to force meetings, launch aggressive campaigns, or engage in petty conflict during this window, you will find your efforts dissolving like mist. You'll feel exhausted and your message will be misheard. The universe is telling you, be still and listen. The 12th house is where you confront your ancestors, your past lives, your karmic debts, and all the psychological ghosts that haunt your private chambers. With Mercury here, your mind is working like a deep-sea submersible, diving into the archives of the subconscious. You may find yourself suddenly recalling a moment of shame or betrayal from a decade ago, not to relive the pain but to decode the lesson. Or perhaps you realize that a lingering pattern in your love life, always choosing partners who need fixing, isn't a flaw but a hidden, self-sabotaging debt you keep replaying. These 10 days are about quietly identifying the hidden scripts that run your life. I must speak plainly. This transit can feel like a loss of control, and for a Scorpio that is terrifying. You are a sign that must hold the reins. But what if the reins you are holding are actually attached to a dead weight? This retreat is not a punishment. It is a necessary purging. On October 9th, Venus, the planet of desire and value, slides into the sign of Virgo and enters your 11th house, the sector of your hopes, dreams, and friendships. Venus is challenged in Virgo. It demands practicality and critique. In your 11th house, this translates to an intense need to audit your social circles and long-term goals. You might suddenly feel exhausted by a friendship you've maintained out of habit or obligation. A goal you chased for years, that specific job title, that particular property, may now feel like a hollow aspiration. This isn't coldness. It is clarity. Venus is asking you to measure your connections and ambitions against a stringent new standard. Do they feed my future or merely flatter my ego? If you are a business owner, this is the time when you sense where the hidden leaks are. The silent partnership that drains resources, the client whose demands are unsustainable, the faulty foundation of a long-term plan. Don't confront them yet. Just observe and document. You are gathering intelligence for the siege you will launch at the end of the month. How do you work with this intensely mysterious energy? Reduce external stimulation. Turn off the news, silence unnecessary notifications. Spend time in the quiet act of listening to your own thoughts. Write down the repetitive anxieties or dreams you are having. They are not random. They are Mercury delivering compressed messages from your soul. The 12th house is where toxins, physical, emotional, and spiritual, are processed. Cleanse your diet, clear your workspace, and most importantly, forgive. Forgiveness isn't for the other person. It is you closing the book on an old debt, freeing up the energy that will power your next ascension. Do your most crucial, detail-oriented planning in solitude. By the end of this decade, you must know exactly what you are cutting and precisely what you are preparing to build. Your power, my Scorpio, is not diminished right now. It is merely pooled. It is resting in the deep water, gathering the thermal energy for the massive eruption that is coming soon. Trust the silence. Embrace the shadows. You are being cleared out, hollowed out, to make room for the incredible blessings that are about to pour in. Scorpios, you emerge from the silent waters of the 12th house feeling lighter, yet still unmoored. You've successfully cut the dead weight. You've identified the hidden enemy. But now you need direction, you need fuel, and you are waiting for the proof that your sacrifice was worth it. And the proof arrives not with a tremor but with a sudden, beautiful shock. This second decade is defined by a colossal turning point, a celestial event so auspicious that it instantly rewrites the chapter of your immediate future. I speak of the great benefic Jupiter, gliding into the watery, nurturing sign of Cancer on October 18th, setting up residence in your ninth house of higher truth, expansive vision, and sheer, undeniable fortune. For the first half of this decade, however, the shadows linger. The sun remains in the secretive 12th house, casting a dim light on your forward path. You may feel a brief but acute period of cosmic disillusionment, a feeling that the quiet work you did in the first 10 days was for nothing. Jupiter's influence is building, but it requires you to act as if the door is already open, even when you can't quite see the lock. The ninth house is the penthouse suite of your chart, the place where your ultimate destiny is plotted. For you, the water sign of depth and emotion, Jupiter's ingress into a fellow water sign, Cancer, ensures that the expansion will be profoundly emotional and soul-aligned. This is not superficial luck. This is luck that makes you feel, for the first time in a long time, truly home in your purpose. Imagine you have diligently applied for a scholarship for international study or have been waiting on a long-delayed publishing contract. Right before the 18th, you might receive a bureaucratic snag, a confusing email, a demand for obscure paperwork. This is the moment where the old Scorpio instinct might be to retreat or attack. Do neither. This is merely the old energy trying to cling on. Your victory lies in the elegant, measured response, knowing that the real tide is about to turn. The moment Jupiter enters Cancer on October 18th, the game changes. The obstacles that felt monumental begin to dissolve with uncanny, almost unbelievable ease. Where you previously faced a heavy, bolted door, you now find an expansive, open gateway. This transit clears paths related to. If you have longed to travel internationally, relocate, or establish professional ties with a distant culture, the green light flashes now. Opportunities will present themselves through foreign connections or distant places that are too compelling to ignore. Legal entanglements, visa issues, or blockages in obtaining a degree or certification will suddenly resolve in your favor. The universe is validating your truth. You may find that a mentor figure, someone with immense knowledge or spiritual wisdom, suddenly takes profound interest in your journey, offering a life-altering introduction or piece of advice. Since Cancer rules the foundation and lineage, this burst of luck may be tied to family assets, property, or long-awaited financial settlements. A surprising resolution to an inheritance issue or a sudden opportunity to acquire property may manifest. This luck feels deep, necessary, and earned by your lineage. The most critical lesson of this decade is the audacity of belief. Because you are accustomed to fighting for every inch of ground, this period of grace, of ease, may feel suspicious. Your instinct is to look for the trap, to assume the blessing must come with a catch. The ninth house, ruled by Jupiter, demands you shed that cynicism. It asks you to stop looking for the shadow and start looking for the undeniable divine favor that is shining upon you. You are being asked to place a great cosmic bet on yourself. You must not just receive the gift. You must embody the abundance that is being presented to you. Use the profound psychological clarity you gained in the first 10 days to inform the big, sweeping decisions this new influx of luck demands. Try to expand your world. Actively look for ways to connect with different cultures, beliefs, and worldviews. Your next great insight is held by someone you haven't met yet, in a place you haven't visited yet. You can seek the master. Enroll in the course, hire the teacher, or seek out the master in your field. Your mind is ready to absorb profound new knowledge. Please stop explaining. You will not need to justify your ambition or your newfound luck to anyone. Your truth is now expanding, and the right people will simply step aside and watch you rise. The universe is now handing you the master key to your next great chapter. Take it, trust it, and prepare your deep reserves of passion for the ignition that is about to follow. The quiet work is over. The external validation has arrived. Now the power comes home. Scorpios, the universe has delivered its subtle gifts, and your soul is nourished by the seeds of fortune planted by Jupiter. You have survived the deep-sea dive of the 12th house, and you have grasped the master key to expansion. But your work is not done. The greatest power, your own, has been dormant. Now we wake the giant. The final 10 days of October are marked by a triple alignment of cosmic forces that converge specifically to restore your absolute, uncompromising sovereignty. This is the ignition sequence for the rest of your year. The transition begins subtly yet profoundly. On October 23rd, the Sun, the core source of life and consciousness, crosses the threshold into the sign of Scorpio. It enters your first house of self, personality, and physical body. The first 3 weeks of October felt like navigating in a thick fog, The 23rd is the moment the spotlight slams back onto center stage. You shed the last vestiges of doubt, you shrug off the invisible cloak, and you begin to feel your own magnetic energy field expand, demanding attention. The power of this ingress is its simplicity. You are seen, you are known, and you are felt. This is the instant when your intentions, the strategies you quietly plotted in the 12th house, amplified by the luck you received from Jupiter, begin to manifest physically. Your confidence returns, sharper and more weaponized than ever before. Your eyes hold an unnerving clarity. You might walk into a room and notice heads turning, not because you changed your outfit but because your aura has visibly intensified. People who ignored your proposals weeks ago suddenly call back, expressing urgency and admiration. You feel the physical return of your vitality. The fatigue that plagued you earlier evaporates, replaced by a focused electric drive. Use this returning visibility to step forward and claim what you strategically planned to acquire. But the sun's arrival is just the setting of the stage. The true magic arrives with the new moon in Scorpio, which occurs just a few days after the sun enters your sign. A new moon is always a blank check from the cosmos, a moment for pristine, non-negotiable intention setting. But a new moon in your own sign? This is the rare, potent moment reserved for total life reinvention. This is the moment you close the vault on your past mistakes and dedicate yourself, with ritualistic intensity, to the new version of your existence. This new moon is the sacred portal through which the phoenix finally flies. You are not meant to wish small now. You are not meant to ask politely. You are meant to declare with fierce certainty the life you are going to command into existence. Do not set intentions for less stress or more money. Set intentions for absolute control over your domain. I fully embody the financial sovereignty necessary to fund my greatest vision. I magnetize a partnership that honors my depth and respects my power. The words must be final, firm, and forged from the shadow work you completed earlier in the month. This new moon is a covenant between you and the deepest reserves of your soul. This is the point of no return. On October 27th, Mars, your ancient, fiery co-ruler and the cosmic god of war, blasts into the sign of Scorpio, also landing squarely in your first house. Imagine a high-performance engine that has been idling for weeks suddenly slamming into high gear. Mars is raw, assertive, and relentless energy. In Scorpio, it is passionate, strategic, and utterly focused on transformation and deep-seated desire. This ingress turns your magnetism into a weapon of will. You are no longer dreaming of success. You are aggressively pursuing it. The energy is intense, demanding action and burning through any remaining resistance. This Mars transit is a pure, unadulterated shot of adrenaline into your entire system, giving you the stamina and the ruthless focus to execute the grand plan you laid out. Your physical body will feel this power immediately. You possess an enhanced energy for working out, pushing through fatigue and overcoming physical ailments. This is the ideal time to launch any personal regimen that requires massive discipline. Your stamina is unparalleled and your physical presence becomes profoundly intimidating and attractive. You may find yourself tackling a complex, physically demanding project, like renovating a neglected property or launching a high-intensity training schedule, and completing it with effortless tenacity. The key is to channel this high-octane Mars energy productively. If left undirected, Mars in the first house can lead to volatile confrontations or unnecessary arguments. Your challenge is to transform aggression into focused ambition. With Mars, the ultimate executor in your sign, the time for diplomacy is over. Remember the lucky breaks Jupiter gave you? Now you must defend them and execute them. If there is a partnership that needs to be finalized, a contract that needs to be signed, or a competitive landscape that requires you to stake your claim, this is your window. Mars in Scorpio knows exactly where to strike. It finds the weakness in the opposition and acts with strategic, unblinking clarity. A professional competitor long entrenched suddenly makes a critical error. Mars in Scorpio gives you the insight and the courage to seize that opening instantly and decisively. You don't just win the deal, you transform the market. You become the unavoidable force. The power here lies not in brute strength but in the precision of the sting. As the month closes, you stand fully integrated. You are the architect of the shadows, 12th house wisdom, the beneficiary of the gods and the warrior of destiny. Your mandate now is restraint and direction. This level of magnetic energy is intoxicating, and the temptation to test your limits will be strong. However, true Scorpio power is subtle. It is the deep, silent current, not the raging surface storm. Use the final days of the month to solidify the boundaries around your new existence. Protect the new wealth and opportunities that Jupiter provided. Guard your newly established sense of self. The universe asks you to prove that the profound transformation you underwent in the shadows was real. Are you going to return to old, small habits, or are you going to utilize this explosive energy to permanently elevate your life? The ignition has occurred. The fire is roaring. You are sovereign. You are potent. You are undeniable. Step forward now, my powerful Scorpio, and command the year ahead.